What would I tell myself 10 years ago?
I can see Brian's brain. The pile is really big. There's so many things.
I'd probably tell myself one of the biggest things I need to work on to get out of my bad habits and get into some good habits, which is kind of what I've been working on now. And I think starting there would start the process of good investing.
I'd go back even longer and be like, that girl that you think is really cute, no, run. Run. I'm still married. Love you, honey.
Yeah.
A different girl. But no, 10 years ago,
even 20 years ago, since we're old,
I would say to myself, more money into a bad investment does not make a good investment. You cannot spend your way through a bad decision.
Sometimes it's best to cut and run.
Know when to stop. Yep. The 10 years ago, Tom, that would be the first thing. Know when to call it.
So good habits, and I've been working with the book Atomic Habits, which I've given my kids. Great book, go out and get it. It's not as heavy reading as you think, but if you follow it, it'll give you a good foundation to life, not just investing.
Up next, children, we're going to read Physics and You.
Psychology 305.
Who reads these? Like, if you're 20 years old, you gonna read a book like that? I'm gonna read a book like that.
Maybe, I mean...
I did.
Kids are into self-help these days.
I read Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. What is wrong with me as a 20-year-old person reading that kind of stuff?
It's not like you're reading the Anarchist cookbook or something.
Yeah, 10 years ago, what else would I tell myself? I would tell myself, hang in there. The dividends grow. The snowball is real.
Right.
And when I've been doing this for 20 years, when you're 10 years in, you're starting to see it. We're gonna get our dividend portfolio up to about 11 years. You're starting to see it, but it's not quite there. I mean, if you're a young guy and you're spending $1,000 buying a stock, if you follow along and you buy the stocks with us, and that stock pays you a dividend, it's not equivalent to the $1,000. You spend $1,000, Kimberly Clark pays you what, like $3 a month?
So that's the point. In the last video, I put the snowball effect in it, so go read it. And we actually have a video that you can go watch that explains the snowball video. So I think what I would do with that is explain my 20-year-old self what the snowball effect really is.
You just grab them and you shake them. It's like, look what happens. It goes up.
Compounding interest. It's easy. No.
You sound like an old guy. Like, young man, when I was young, I bought dividend stocks. And now I can afford this nice watch.
It's not even like that.
But it's true though, the stock dividend that comes in there, if the company's healthy, They got all the good things we talk about in other videos. If it's a good business, the dividend usually goes up. It's around 9 to 12% per year on average. So I would also tell myself, you don't have to overwork yourself trying to find the perfect investment. Charlie Munger just stated that sometimes all that work does nothing for you. Like, it's better to be passive and lazy on some of this stuff as long as it's good businesses than active. And I see this a lot with young investors. They'll buy a company that doesn't pay a dividend or isn't a defensively moded company. Nothing against growth stocks or growth stocks, right? Growth stocks?
Growth
stocks. Nothing against them, but if you're just starting out, it's probably not a good thing to do when you're just starting out. It's a good thing to buy a company that pays that dividend because the stocks are very irrational. They're kind of like a teenager. They're very irrational up and down all the time. And if it pays a dividend, it's a lot easier for you to weather that without thinking, oh my God, my stock went down 20%. I see this a lot. They'll buy a stock that doesn't pay a dividend and then they will look at it every single day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And quit touching it because you'll go blind.
You would tell yourself, quit touching it because you'll go blind? What are you trying to say with your glasses there?
Quit messing with your stock, you know?
That's true. I think it's other things. I mean, at 10 years ago, I already had a budget. I had good habits. I knew what kind of life I wanted. But that's another thing that a lot of young people probably aren't being asked the right way. Yeah. Is when you're in school, they ask you, what do you want to do? And then they tell you how much you can make. Well, that's great, but
A better question is, what lifestyle do you want to lead? What does that look like?
yeah, and that's a whole different, I mean, that's a completely different mindset, because if you go to just make the money, a lot of people graduate college and they realize, well, geez, I don't like this field.
Right.
I think it's like the stats were saying like 5% of the people that graduate college actually get a job in the field that they went to school for. What is that? I mean, that's a small number, even from the people who actually get through school. That's just, I mean, this is a small percentage of a small percentage. So if you actually get that job and you went in just for the money, you might not be happy. So make sure that you prioritize how you want to live, and that can change. And when you do that and you want to know how you want to live, first of all, find somebody who has what you want ethically. We talked about it in another video. But make sure that if you say, hey, I want to live this way, I want to have these things, I want to have this kind of time, I want to have these cars, don't like get the advice from the Wolf of Wall Street or somebody else. Get it from somebody who actually has what you want and they did it ethically.
Right.
You're going to have to find that person, because there's a lot of people out there. You have to disseminate the people who actually have what you're looking for from the one that are selling you a sack of lies. I mean, there's a bunch of snake oil salesmen out there, and it's all over YouTube. You look for a company, and then you find out somebody's out there sounding very convincing that they want you to buy this stock. Oh, it's a great play. It'll go up 300%. It doesn't take long to even find that. Right. So they tell you all this, and then you buy it, and then it goes down, and then you find out that, oh my gosh, this person was actually being paid by that company to promote that company so people would buy it.
Rule of thumb, if you have to spend money to gain their knowledge, it's probably not good information.
That's a whole other thing too. The guys who have these seminars that'll teach you how to flip homes or how to do all this stuff. Now, I've made some money flipping houses, but it's a lot of freaking work.
Right.
You're doing a lot of work to do that. So find the people that legitimately have what you want and lead the lifestyle that you want, and try to learn from that.
So gain good habits, number one. Figure out what lifestyle you want to lead. Learn the snowball effect and compounding interest.
Don't date the first girlfriend.
Find a mentor that'll help you get there.
Just glossed over the most important thing. What if you got married to her? You get divorced, she takes half your stuff. You don't even have the car.
Don't date psycho girls or boys.
Very good, thank you.
Next is, once you have that, make a budget so that you can get these things and not overspend. Like me, when I was 20, spending $300 at the bar every weekend.
I'm impressed. Brian and I have known each other for a long time. I can try to derail him, and he just completely ignores. It just keeps going.
I've learned.
So the other thing that we would tell you is,
be able to tune people out that are toxic to you.
No. The other thing we would tell
Start
people.
Again.
The other thing we would tell people is keep learning. These books that we recommend, just keep learning, because once you graduate school, that's not the end of it. There's more to this than that.
Right.
And if you make a mistake, just make sure you make a decision that you can't, like marriage is a permanent thing. If you buy a stock, you invest in a stock, make sure it's not all of your money. Diversify good, but make sure that you're learning constantly from what you're doing. And if you make a mistake, that's fine.
Yeah, failure is not the end. Failure is fine. Failure is just another step to success.
So to summarize the whole thing, just hang in there. It does show up, because those dividends, that snowball, man, it doubles, and then it doubles again, and then it doubles again, and then they just start coming in, and it's amazing.
If you get down, you make a mistake, see rule number one. Start with your habits.
So I'd say patience.
And go through it again.
Drill it into me. Yep. Patience.
Now, if you want some good reading that we've read, there's some hard books in here, but we think it's worth it.
You read books?
Well, okay, I don't read books anymore. I listen to them on audio because it's easier to listen as I travel and do things than sit down and read a book.
I can totally picture Brian. He's in his living room in his slippers, listening to how to invest while he's vacuuming. You are a great investor.
Actually, I was listening to Atomic Habits on the way here. I've listened to that a few times.
You are a great investor. I'm leaving. Bye, everyone.